The woke movement has truly ruined the South Park episode The Big Fix. It's the second episode from 25th season. The main reason why this is by far the worst South Park episode is the change from name Token to the name Tolkien. One of the characters of the show, who is reoccurring on a regular basis, is named Token Black. And he for a long time was the only person in the class who was black. His name was also a statement to the fact that he for a very long time was the only black student in the class around which the South Park series develops. And now all of a sudden they try to change his name from Token to Tolkien. Like, they want to push the idea that he is not really token person, like the single black person in the class, but that he instead is named after the famous writer Tolkien. This clearly shows that woke culture is destroying America, because it's pushing America towards idiocracy. It's pushing America towards abandonment of logical thinking. The change is really a move towards abandonment of clear memory and of smart way of thinking, because for a very long time Token was named Token and not Tolkien. These are two different words. They are pronounced differently. They are similar, but those are two different words. Token is pronounced a little bit differently than Tolkien. Nevertheless, during the entire show so far, until season 25 episode 2, Token's name was always pronounced very clearly as Token, and never ever in a way which could lead to an interpretation that it was meant Tolkien and not Token. But even worse, there are multiple occasions in the show where the name Token is written. The episode addresses one of these occurrences. It was the episode where Token's name was written on Cartman's t-shirt. It was like very prominently displayed. And they addressed this issue by simply stating that Cartman cannot really spell that well, which would go along with the ideas that have been pushed by the show so far. But there are multiple occasions where the name Token was clearly written not as Tolkien but as Token from other people. So the first example is from season 11 episode 14, The List. In this episode there is a list which is made by girls, and they rank the boys from prettiest to the ugliest. on this list clearly can be seen that Token is Token and not Tolkien. And this list was apparently made by girls together. So the line of argumentation that the girls knew already that Tolkien is actually named after Tolkien, and they would know how to pronounce it properly, like forcing it together. Like, if the girls already knew that Tolkien is actually named after Tolkien, then they probably would have written his name correctly in their list, but they didn't. They wrote Tolkien. Moving on to season 15, episode 4, which is called T.M.I. We can once again see a list where the names of the boys of the class are displayed. And on this list, we can clearly see once again that it's written Token and not Tolkien. This list wasn't made by girls, but instead by school. Like, school put up a list where they displayed how much each of the boys has been gaining in height since last year. And on this occasion, again, there is no doubt that Token's name is Token and not Tolkien, because who else but the school will be really able to spell his name correctly? Like, the school actually teaches the students how to spell, so they shouldn't make such a mistake. They really shouldn't. And in both instances, Token is around when the list is like discovered. In both cases, Token does not protest that his name is written wrong. In both cases, no person who is around notices that Token's name is written wrong, which would be the case if he would be named after Tolkien after all. And then there is another episode which really completely destroys the credibility of the Tolkien name fix. It's episode Raising the Bar. It is the 9th episode from 16th season, and in this episode, Token produces a movie, and at the beginning of his movie, he presents the name of the company which produced the movie. And here in the name, once again, very clearly, it can be seen that Token's name is Token and not Tolkien, because he created the movie. He himself decided how to name his company, and obviously he named his company after himself. So it's really a hard sell to tell the viewers that Token does not know how to write his own name, that he misspells his own name and even names a company a movie production company after his misspelled name. That really is a really hard sell, taking into account that he manages to make a movie. South Park really makes a very disgusting move in the episode of Big Fix, where the doctor is talking to the viewers. This is one of the rare occurrences during the show, during the many episodes of the show, where like one person is talking to the viewers, straight on to the viewers. The doctor looks towards the viewers, looks into the camera, and says that everyone who was thinking that Token is named Token and not Tolkien is really a bad person, and he uses all kinds of insults. This is a really disgusting way of insulting long-time viewers, because for decades South Park was always pronouncing Token's name as Token and not as Tolkien. And there are multiple occasions where Token's name was written and shown in the certain episodes, like just showed in few examples, and nobody at all had even the slightest issue or slightest problem with this mispronunciation, because it was not mispronounced. It was just his name. His name was Token. And now they are trying to fix it in a way that really deeply insults the viewers of the show. That's such a disgusting act of wrongdoing. It cannot be denied that such an episode was created because of the pressure of woke movement. South Park is a victim of woke movement, and they have really created an episode which is really bad. It just goes down, and sometimes you cannot change the past, or you should not change the past. There are some events which you can see in new light. There are some facts which show up and change the understanding of history. But in this case, very clear pronunciations and multiple occasions of written word led no room for such a turn of events. Not the smallest one. Of course, this is a show capable to break with its past. It's for entertainment, so it doesn't really need to be super incoherent. But it's sad to see that they have made such a terrible mistake and produced their worst episode by far. Thank you for watching.